Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey, and that resolves, and this is Overmaster Revenge Hour. So this weekend I really like to play something with the Witching Hour anyway, and I saw a bunch of people playing this on the ladder, no doubt due to the recent buff to their Crownwatch press gang. As this is pretty interesting in this deck, because not only does it grab some more pieces to come up the ground like the Slumbering Stone, but in a long and drawn out game, the Tock with Destiny can be used just to turn the Crownwatch press gang into a free card draw. There's a bunch of revenge in the deck, and this works really well as this is going to be able to power up this Witching Hour, as every time we play something off revenge it is going to reduce the cost of Witching Hour by 1. We are currently playing a really good Inco Blood target in Makto, but Makto's still really good, and as with last week, I'm not scared. Okay, so let's get on to those games. Okay, well, they're in the play. Got 1 power and a 24 costing spell, so let's redraw this. Now, this is much better. It's still a little bit suspicious with just 3 power and a 24, but hopefully we'll just draw like the early game and that'll really help us. Struck down the banner, and as well as we are on the play here, we shouldn't be under too much pressure. But from looking at the deck list, it looks like this deck can, well, against perhaps Skycrag here. But we're on the draw, so we're fine, so we just get to slay whatever the 2-drop is. And then if we draw a power, we get to play Crownwatch Press Gang, and that'll really get the party started. Well, I think I'd rather just stop this for our opponent's able to get a bunch of war cries. Then next turn we'll just play Slumbering Stone if we don't find a power, but if we find a power we'll be in great shape because we have to lay down the press gang which blocks this or trades with a torch. As well as probably drawing us into some TikToks. And Crest is power, but not quite what we wanted. I think we would like the 5th power just because then we're able to go the press gang into a Makto here. And again, doesn't really matter what we block. But as you'll see here, the Witching Hour is going to pop down to being a 21 cost. Because when the Slumbering Stone dies, you do get to play the Gargoyle. Oops. Well, I was thinking of playing the Makto out here. But I think what I'm going to do is play the Crownwatch, grab a TikTok, and then we don't just get blown out by a single permafrost here. Probably can trade resources, but that's still most fun if they want to start torching our stuff. Because we're pretty close to being able to stabilise with Makto and Direwood Prowler. Also, killing our revenge dudes can't feel the greatest for our opponent here. And we've got 2 nice blocks here. The 2-2 and the 1-1 on the 2 and the other Snowcrust Jetty here. Yeah, if our opponent's just attacking like that, just nice easy chump here, just with a 1-1. Bottom power, I guess. And getting there with Makto. Pretty certain opponents not got permafrost because they didn't play one last turn to be able to get in a bit more damage. So it's probably an attack with everyone, but then we get to choose what we take out, and it's just going to be the 3-2 here. Just take the minimum amount of damage here. And TikTok's great, but sadly we're going to have to play the Direwood Prowler here without anything to gobble up. Well, what's going on? Well, just suddenly got a board out of nowhere. And I think it's just going to be the revenge. So let's take the TikTok. And right now, I've got like pointed a bunch of burn just at our units. So we should be able to just make some blocks and then be able to stabilize with this Witch now. And just keep grabbing those TikToks. We might find a Stonepowder Alchemist here, perhaps. No, Scarabon's given up. It's a little bit sad because we didn't get to see the Witch now going off, but you can imagine what it was going to be doing. Okay, well, here we're on the draw, and the hand looks interesting. I suppose this is the sort of hands you're going to sign up for in this deck, but we're able to just stop our opponent from being able to damage us for quite some time, then able to lay this harsh rule. But I think we can do a little bit better. So I will be redrawing it, and this looks much nicer. Don't really want more power, especially not just his sigils, because we do have a spell that requires 6 shadow sources. Just lay down the Tock and get our beat on. It could very well just be a case like the Nostrix Porter deck here. I'm not entirely certain how that matchup will go for us. But we'll just keep applying pressure here. Yep, this looks like it's yeah, this is definitely our Cliffside Porter deck here. Well, Makto could be good here. Let's make the easy attack here with the Stonepowder Alchemist. Then we'll just get to Vara's Favour this to finish it off. So there's something interesting. Perhaps I could have kept the Vara's Favour there just to be able to shoot down any like Cliffside Porters. But if our opponent plays a Cliffside Porter here this turn, it means that they've got a Nostrix in hand and they're just trying to combo off on 6 rather than 7. I feel like, well, nice. I feel like what our opponent's deck is doing is just going to be able to outgrind us with all these 5/6s. It's going to be a struggle for us to win. But still going to fight it out, see how far we get. Okay, so fortunately it looks like they might just be looking for the Nostrix. But without a harsh rule to be able to kill all these Cliffside Porters, we're not going to be doing too well here. Now we're just going to be a little bit cheeky just to get our revenge going. I could have used the Devour there just to save it, but I am uncertain if our opponent's playing like a slightly different list that's maybe got some silence in it. So I did want to keep the Devour up to be able to protect Makto from any silence effects. But pretty certain now of seeing this, it looks like it's going to be exactly our list. Well, let's draw a card first. Well, we have to slay the Nostrix. Fortunately, we can really keep these Cliffside Porters busy. So it is pretty much just going to be the Nostrixes that are going to map, because the 5/7 body really makes our 5/5 Maktos look super silly. Well, the permafrost here is not great, so we do sort of need to rip one of our answers here, and Slumbering Snow's not quite it. I'm sort of tempted to be a little bit greedy and like double chump here, even though it's not going to do too much. Just to make this Witch now cheaper sooner rather than later. But then we'll just have no board against a bunch of 10 power units. Well, let's get to push a little bit of damage. And now this is an interesting one. I mean, I'm not lethal to this swing. This swing, well, I'm going to be blocking the 10-11. This swing plus a Channel of Tempest is lethal, so I'm curious about whether a harsh rule here. I just hope to get there with just like a couple of hits. Or if I wait for our opponent to just deploy some more cliffside parts, but then we get absolutely destroyed by a island's choice there. Okay, Pro's has been super greedy with the cliffside parters, so this is fine. Well, this is sort of sad because I'm going to be blowing up my 7/7, which isn't quite what I was looking for. But just attacking, but it might not block like 1 point of damage somehow. But yeah, easy blocks all around. And it's just a harsh roll, and we've killed 3 of our opponent's Nostrixes now. They do have some huge cliffside parters. It doesn't look like we've got any. No revenge here, so I'm just going to take the Dark Return. I'm taking this because I'm just going to make a huge Watchwing Conscript. And I've also got a 5-cost Witch now. So I'm probably going to need 2 removal spells for this. If they don't have it or a flying blocker, then we get to jump in there and give them the business. I don't think we're going to be in a position to win this one. It looks like we still might not be here. But we've still got a target here for the Devour. I guess we're just getting more TikToks. I don't want to play the Witch now because then we are absolutely just completely dead to a harsh roll. I'm reasonably happy, yeah. So now we get to rebuild. So they're going for the old channel, but they're not going to be able to deal with this. Needs to like exactly power rule. Although they're not completely dead. Okay, I figured they had some more cliffside parters than I thought. I'd probably going to be able to play 4 parters out, and then even with the removal spell, they'd be able to survive a turn. Well, that was that. Okay, and this sounds pretty wholesome. We've got 4 power and a bunch of stuff to do with the power, so I think we'll keep this. Okay, so this is very like Felon control, so I'm not sure how this matchup's going to go, because they will have In Cold Blood. But we do also have just like a bunch of nonsense value here. And I'm not saving this for like a champion, just really want to just be able to curve out here into 3, 4, 5, 23. Well, it's likely that we are going to be able to grind them out. But the presence of 4 in cold blood and 1 or 2 feeding time does make me a little bit nervous here. Oh, suffocate. I do really like the suffocate as like a... Well, it didn't matter. I do really like the suffocators. I feel like it helps you in a bunch of matchups. I think we just want Tock ticks there. So that any future Crownwatch draws with the Tock tick are just able to draw as an extra card. Okay, so I was playing multiple suffocates here, so perhaps actually just like a beatdown deck here. And I'm going to wait on the Makto for now. So I think we can afford to just scheme. As I'm not entirely certain that our opponent's deck isn't like a beatdown version of Fel, I'm going to keep the harsh rule here. No reason to keep the Devour up because I'm saving it for 7 just to be able to protect the Makto. Well, would have been nice to protect the Crownwatches. So I'm probably going to slay this. And get in there for 1 huge point of damage. This Ranger is going to be pretty big here. Okay, well, the second Makto here. I think I'm just going to harsh roll. Next turn, we'll Makto with the Devour up. And then the turn after, we should be able to safely play the second Inquisitor Makto. And then when you've got 2 going, it's going to be a little bit awkward for the in cold blood to try and get them both. But with the amount of like hand manipulation that our opponent's got here, I'm going to be pretty certain that they've got at least another in cold blood, and if not, they do have a feeding time. But the bright side is we don't have to worry about any sort of sweepers, so the Witch now should really be able to get us there. And it's unlikely that Felon's playing more than 1 counter spell here, but we will be Devouring. Hoping not to draw this Makto because I believe the spell tracks, similar to how Killer does. There we go, so we got lucky. But I'm not going ham with this Renderer. I'm going to assume, whether correctly or incorrectly, that we're not going to be facing down a 3rd copy of In Cold Blood here. And the Asmodale's gift here is reasonably gross. Do I have anything in here to be able to Destiny? Yes, okay. And unfortunately, we would have been able to play the Witch now had we Vara's favoured last turn, which is pretty gross there. So I'm just going to try and spend as much of my hand as possible. I suppose I'd rather have 2 things in play than be able to deal with 1 point. But that was still pretty rough. My opponent's landed a gift whilst they've got a 7/7 Rindra. But we do have a bunch of things here just to keep it busy on the ground, although the Overwhelm will surpass that for at least one turn. Okay, well, one Makto's down. Now, let's lead off with a scheme here. We'll be taking this sleigh just to get past it. So let's rebuy this Stonepowder. And then that should pretty much do it. We've managed to navigate our way through a triple Rindra and double in cold blood with a gift on ourselves. So I guess that's really showing how strong this deck is. Okay, well, as much as I like these two cards, I think this is really just a redraw. And this is sweet. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Crouch Press Gang is really impressed me in this deck. Oops, well, didn't play the TikTok. Well, now we get to shake them by playing them both. This trades pretty nicely against the Champion of Fury because the first time you do take some damage, and the second time you get to kill it. So I'm going to keep the TikTok around us because it definitely trades with the 2 on here. And then we should be able to draw it again with the Crownwatch Press Gang. I'm in a position here where I'm just not going to be aggressive whatsoever. Just going to sit back and just trade our cards for our opponent's cards. And if they need to trade like burn spells to get through our units, then I'm still fine with that. So they've not got a bad draw here. This is really impressive. Well, we drew the TikTok, which isn't quite what I was looking for. But I think this time I was going to get a Slumbering Stone just because it's a proper nuisance against stuff like Champion of Fury. And if our opponent's able to land a Vadius, then this buys us like 2 extra turns. And yeah, no point to trade this off quite yet. But we do have some pretty nice setup, or some pretty nice block setup here at least. Now we could even just overblock the 4-2 so that we don't take any overwhelm damage here. Oof. Well, the 4th Champion of Fury is pretty nice here. Well, I'm just going to block like this. Just to try and prevent the maximum amount of damage. Then I'm probably going to be messing about with some sort of Devour trick after our opponents declare their attackers. Just to try and ambush him with a couple of free frees. Well, should be a nice surprise. Well, to get any of our destinies, but we do get to trade here. Now we do only take 1 damage from this now. And the Scout Lancer are going to do... Well, we're going to keep that. It's not a Destiny unit, but we'll be keeping it anyway. Probably still has to attack here just to push damage, but I suppose we're going to be keeping the Pyro Knight back. Well, they have the removal spell anyway, but if they didn't have the removal spell there, I've got to imagine they would have had to keep the Pyro Knight back just because they are getting quite close to being able to ultimate them now. But we're managing to keep in here. But the Vadius is going to prove to be a problem if we're not able to find one of our big hitters here. But just reasonable blocking here. Blocking the 2-2 on the Pyro Knight because she does have the over one there. I can wear the Harshal. I don't want to pay 5 just to pop Aegis here. Yeah, this is much better because now I get to trade it for a unit and do this. Now we're actually secretly putting a little bit of pressure on our opponent as well because they're at 16 now. We haven't attacked them. Well, guess we're going ham for these top ticks here. Suddenly we've got a board. Well, going to be attacking for 2 here. If only because this is the only way we're going to gain life off the Stonepowder now is by attacking, as our opponent's units do have quick draw. But I feel like we're just in complete control of the game now. We've got like nice double blocks we can set up, and we've got chumps as well if anything sort of silly goes on. Our opponent's got no other cards in hand, so this is basically free for us. I was tempted to do something with the Tock here, but I felt like it was just getting a little bit too fancy there when we've just got this nice wall up. Well, this deck is feeling a little bit degenerate right now. Okay, on to the last game then, I suppose. Well, if we're not playing against Fel, this hand is absolutely absurd because we're going to have 2 Maktos to be able to grind them out. But we can't take that risk, so let's redraw it and let's play a reasonable game. Let's get this Tock down. Don't mind playing against a fire-based deck here, just as we're able to get a little bit of value of all these sort of Tock and other sort of nonsense units. Well, we seem pretty well set up against this kind of deck because we've got an 0-2 and a 1-1 with 2 lives. Well, unfortunately, we've not drawn the power that we need. But I feel like our opponent might be missing a influence type here. Not sure if the second faction they've got is going to be Shadow or Time. But for now, I'm happy just to keep hitting our power. Yeah, it seems like quite an anticlimactic match here. Our opponent is playing like real groundings though. Can be in real trouble because Madness and Combust and that sort of stuff is pretty good against our decks like Watchwing, Conscript, which the only real payoff for this card is when you draw out of Destiny. And the Makto, of course, just giving that to your opponent is just terrible. Well, let's get going on here. Well, unfortunately, our opponent seems to be struggling on power and influence, but we can't just not pressure them. We have to end the game so we can get onto that deck tech. I've already gone triple block here, but it's probably worse than just single blocking it, because when this comes back it's going to be a real pain. Although it is probably good as well, because it is just going to deal with the problem they've got right now, which is the fact that we've just got 10 power in play. But we're just going to try and mize and just hit it again with the good old TikTok here. And just a Stonepowder Alchemist. Yeah, sadly our opponent, the hand just didn't work out for him. Well, onto that deck tech. Okay, so that was Revenge Hour. And you can really see how cheap you're able to get the Witch Hour down when you've just got a bunch of spells in your deck that just play themselves twice, or at least play another thing. And though I was originally quite suspicious of the Watchwing Conscript, it really does some work when you put it in the same deck as the Dark Return. Now, of course, Makto in this deck, though it is still vulnerable to In Cold Blood, when you're able to play the Makto on 7 with Devour backup, you're able to protect yourself from at least one of them, so it's not as bad. And when we do have so many good targets for In Cold Blood, such as the Conscript itself and the Crownwatch Press Gang, which is a great little engine all by itself, then perhaps we're just able to tax them and just beat our opponents in other ways, just with all the little value of the Tock ticks that could, and the Slumbering Stone. I was also impressed by the way it handled the Skygrab matchup. But that's enough from me. Thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and this was Overmaster's Revenge Hour.